All right, Max, we knew something was coming, right? Obviously, with everything the way it's playing out with the second apron, with Jason Tatum going down with the Achilles. So the first shoe to drop is Jrue Holiday.
Hmm.
I guess let's just begin with your thoughts on Holiday, what he brought to the Celtics as they move on from him.
Man, what a class act this kid was. He is. Not, he's been unbelievable as a basketball player. Defensively, I think I haven't seen a guy that good with the Celtics in forever. The way he carried himself, big plays all the time. But that happens. That happens in the game. And I think that you have to be ready and understand. And let me give you one good one, Dan. This is what Red Auerbach said. Red Auerbach said, never fall in love with the product. And Brad Stevens is not falling in love with the product. He's only trying to see opportunities to get it better. I think what you have right now is essentially somebody putting a kickstand down on a bicycle. I know a lot of us don't know what a kickstand is, but a kickstand is this thing that when you had those bicycles, you stop pedaling and you put your kickstand down. It was a pause, and I think that's what the Celtics are doing, especially with Tatum being in his position.
Interesting pause from the sense of Holiday and getting the salary. I think Bobby Marks of ESPN said they should save about $40 million there, and as he had 3 years left on his deal. But they get Anferenee Simons, Max, as you know. Tell us about, from your perspective, a kid from Portland who can score, who especially with Tatum down, if they keep him, obviously a guy that can help Jaylen Brown and company on the offense.
Good young player, fantastic scorer. Learned a lot of his craft over the years from Damian Lillard when he played there in Portland. You will watch him very explosive, can take the ball towards the hole, but defensively sometimes has been somewhat of a liability. I think they have to pick up, and I think Joe Mazzulla is a perfect guy to have there for a guy like Simons to round his game even to be a better player.
Can you be taught defense on the NBA level, Max? Can you be brought into a situation almost like Porzingis and play better defense than you have in the past because of the players around you?
Absolutely, yes. And there was a guy named Bill Fish who had me with Larry Bird when it's like, Bill, I'm not a defender. I don't do that. I'm a scorer. I'm a lover. But what you do if you're a basketball player, you change to what your team gives you and what your team needs. And so, yeah, I think that can be done, especially when in a system that is dedicated towards playing good, real solid defense.
Well, to get under that second apron, Max, it looks like there's going to be some more pain, right? Just your thoughts on maybe the departure of Sam Hauser if they lose him, and even if they lose Kristaps Porzingis as well.
I would hate to lose any of those guys, but again, you have to understand that this is a business. Kristoff was tremendous with us his first year and part of last year, and then had the injury, and that really took a toll on what the Celtics were able to do so far as trying to win the championship. I love Hauser. I got a chance to meet his family. I got a chance to see his child, his wife, great people. But he was in a situation now that this team is going to move on salary, and he might be one of those cuts that has to go.
Well, and I think what we love about the business, Max, and we hear cliches all the time, in so and so we trust, right? And what they do as a general manager. But man, it's fun to watch Brad Stevens because you just don't know where he's going, what he's going to bring back, and how the end product is going to look for the Celtics team. Just your thoughts on what Stevens has been able to do as a GM, basically, but also how much he has that competitive fire in him to stay competitive. And even though they're losing Tatum for however long, he still wants to send a team out there that can battle night in and night out.
Well, didn't they have him with Parcells down in Foxborough? He said, "Look, let me buy the damn groceries." And I think because Brad was a coach in this league, especially in those years before, he knew what this team really needed. He knew the insides and outsides. He's around this team all the time. Fundamentally, being a coach, understanding what your coach needs, I think he wants to go out and put the best product on the floor. He's won a championship, so that already gives him a mulligan in this city. But to win another one, you're going to have to change with the times. Salaries are going to change. The aprons are making you change. So he's adapting to what the NBA is going to call for.
And the other part of that too, Max, is the NBA seems to be changing on an in-season basis, whether it's two bigs one day or just like we saw with the Pacers, just spread the ball around and just use different guys to attack and score that way, or Oklahoma City with their defense. How much is that harder for a GM on a monthly by month basis in the NBA nowadays, the way things change?
You have to adapt. And I think that happens from championship team to championship team. Remember when the Celtics started shooting threes more than anybody else? Then everybody else got on board to shoot threes. Now everybody's gotten smaller. Well, Oklahoma winning is everybody's going to get smaller now and play with more guys on the perimeter with pace and timing. I think that happens, and that's why I think that you have to be able to adapt to this situation in a heartbeat, as you said, or you get left behind. And that's one thing the Celtics don't want to do, get left behind, especially dealing with this whole thing with Tatum. And when he'll come back, if he'll come back this year, that's going to be a real hard question.
And lastly, Max, what do you think the NBA will do? Maybe it's doctors or what have you. And how concerning is it to you that we saw Lillard, Tatum, and now Halliburton all go down with the ruptured Achilles? On a national audience where it was just painful to watch everyone go through what they went through.
I heard the analyst Jay Williams say this, and Jay Will said, what I think is happening right now, he says the pace of the game. He said 109 possessions for each team. So the pace has to be going up and down. So does the body adapt to the pace, or does the pace overwhelm the body? In this case, the pace has overwhelmed a couple of players, especially late during the season. When you have Dame Lillard going down late in the season, you have Tatum going down. You saw what happened to Halliburton, and all these were late season, postseason things. So the pace of the game, I don't know how you get back to changing that. The Achilles is the Achilles, and how do you make it stronger? So I really don't know. It's really going to be incumbent upon the players association, the coaches, the teams to get together and find out what they can do.
Max, always a pleasure. Enjoy the warm weather where you are. We're enjoying it here as well.
So long, Boston.